Ecclesiasticus 3:28. In the punishment of the proud there is no remedy, for the plan of wickedness have taken root in him. That's what I say. That's what he said in verse 24. For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Your worthless opinion, the way you think. And an evil suspicion, evil comes in, Satan come in, hath overthrown the judgment. He overthrows the right judgment of how you should act. Because you allow Satan to come in to take you off of how you should be humble before the Most High. And realize that we're in the last days and we don't have much time to be playing around. Isaiah 30:1. Most High says, woe to the rebellious children, said the Most High, that take counsel, they take counsel, but not of me. They take counsel, but not of the Most High. And that cover with the covering, but not of my spirit. It's amazing how people, they really think they have the spirit of the Most High when they follow the way that I just went into the scriptures and showing you. That's our people. You can't be in this truth and compare the truth to anything. Because you're still that same old person trying to make whatever it is. It was a saying that I put on my Facebook page. It was pretty tight. It was like some people want the truth to be validated by what they already was thinking or their thoughts from being in the world and not knowing this Bible, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. They want this Bible, the word of the Most High, to fit with what they already have learned. You see what I'm saying? So they're comparing. You're going to be lost for a long, long time as long as you're comparing what you have learned. That's why he said, you the enemy of the Most High. Because you are dealing with the same things you dealt with when? In the world. You at war with the Most High because you fighting. That's why I told Paul, why kick against the pricks, man? You're going against those that are mine. You're killing them. Physically and spiritually and mentally. You hurting my chosen. You hurt my elect. And he thought he was on point. But then what do you have to do? You got to let it go. That's what my second shot say. You got to be like a child. Like a child. You know, I learned from brothers that was, 15, sometimes 20 years younger than me. In order. You see what I'm saying? With respect. Because I respect what they knew. Because they had the knowledge. They had the wisdom. And at that time, the understanding to tell me how this is done. That's why I always say, okay, where we going next? And nobody say nothing. That's the same way I was, quiet. Right? Sitting there quiet and learning. And listening, because listening is an art of responsibility. It's an art of responsibility, seriously. That's why I said, woe, destruction to rebellious children, said the Most High, that take counsel. They take counsel. They listen to this, whatever. A lot of people counsel is by their own mind, but not of me. And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit. that they may add sin to sin. Sin to sin. Verse 9. That this is rebellious people, lying children, children that would not hear the law of the Most High. They don't want to hear the law of the Most High. Remember, it's the book of the law. The whole, when we go to the Bible, they are commandments. So I say, do you hear him say, you can do this if you want to? Try this, it might work. Might work. It's not there. These are statements. These are commandments. Straight up. Isaiah 30:9. He says that this is a rebellious people. Lying children. Children that would not hear the law of the Most High. Which say to the seers, see not. Don't be looking at me. And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Don't tell us right things. We don't hear nothing that's right. Speak unto us smooth things. Oh, you got to speak a certain way. Speak to me smooth, you got to understand what I'm saying. Smooth. You hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? The Lord loves you. All you got to do is call on the name of the Lord and you're going to be saved. It's all right. You're going to be all right. I know you don't know, but you don't know. The Most High understands. He understands your heart. So follow your heart. But that type of way is contrary to what the Most High said in Isaiah 58:1. Look, make it say something different. He said, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, how our people are off or wrong, and the house of Jacob their sins. See? He said, shout at her. Just what the scriptures say. That's the counsel of the Most High. That's why you see sometimes, don't you see exclamation points in this Bible? Big as day. Man, what you think the Most High doing? Screaming at us. Hey, hollering at us. Oh, but we can't take that. We can't deal with that. Look, Titus 1:13. It says, this witness is true. Wherefore rebuke them sharply. Why? That they may be sound in the faith. See? Rebuke them sharply that they may be sound in the faith. See, you got to cry aloud. Lift up your voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgression, how they off. How they have transgressed the laws of the Most High. To not giving heed to Jewish fables, fairy tales and so forth, and commandments of men. Now I'll tell you, you're going to tell me these religions ain't set up by the commandments of men? These religions set up by the commandments of men that turn from the truth, that turn from the laws of the Most High. The fact that the Most High have hair of pure wool, Hamashiach Yahushua, feet like in a fine brass that burn in the furnace. Hamashiach Yahushua, hair of wool, nappy hair, woolly hair. And he told Philip, you see me, you seen the Father. They turned from the truth. That's the laws of the Most High. Going back to Isaiah 30:9. That this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that would not hear the law of the Most High, which say to the seers, which was the prophets before they were called prophets, see not, don't be looking at us, don't point nothing out on me. And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Don't tell us what's right to make us better. Speak unto us smooth things. Prophesy deceits. Tell us lies. Lie to us. to make us feel good. Get you out of the way. Turn aside out of the path. Cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And that's what our people do. And a lot of people don't even realize it. It'd be different if myself, I hadn't been, in this truth and I always had to deal with somebody from the church. You know what I mean? People from the church. How they think. Or grew up with Muslims. You see what I'm saying? And knowing how they think. Or this religion or that religion, or I believe this way, I believe that way. And you live and deal with these people every day. All the time. And see how they try and still look at trying to take what they have learned from the commandments of men and compare that to the truth. And it then come back and ask me, what about this? What about this? What scripture says this? What you should know. So the men that you learn from, that you still hold on to of the world, right? They should have given you the answers. So that now, by this time, you should know. Because some people have been in this for, all their life. In the Bible or however they thought they were right in dealing with religions. In the church, I'll say. You know what I mean? Whatever religion they're following. So they should know. All this time, man. I remember this old lady came to church one time. And she was crying hard. I was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? She said, I learned more in one day than I knew all my life. One day, she was crying hard. She said, she was an old lady. She said, I learned more in one day than I knew all of my life. She was crying. And I've seen brothers cry. When certain things, they realized how they were in the dark, in the gross darkness. And had no shame in their game. They shed tears. When they realized that they didn't really realize what they thought they knew. And when they realized they knew what they knew, it hit home. It hit home. So we gotta look at this for real, because we're in these last days, and there's not gonna be a time when you're gonna just have to get down like you're getting down now with this truth. You're not gonna be able to. Because what's the most powerful thing in the earth? The truth. The truth. Because it's the way of the Most High. And you got something else that's better than that? I challenge you, you have something that's better than the way of the Most High? His law, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations? Look. Isaiah 30:18. And therefore will the Most High wait, that he may be gracious unto you, and therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Most High is a power of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. We ain't going to cry no more. He will be very gracious unto thee. At the voice of thy cry, when he shall hear it, he will answer thee. See? If that's not in the spirit of what I just said, what is? You see? Brothers was crying. Tears. And all this time they realized certain things that they never understood, but they thought they understood. He said, and though the Most High give you the bread of adversity, dipped in that fiery furnace of affliction, in the water of affliction. Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. But see, people don't want to accept the fact that the Most High have his teachers. So we ain't going to be moved into no corner no more. But thine eyes shall see thy teachers. You're going to see your teachers. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way. You're supposed to hear this. This high calling, telling you that this is the way. Walk ye in it. Whenever you turn to the right hand, or when you turn to the left. See? You're supposed to be following this way. Because there's no other way. And it was, believe me, the checking would come down. Whatever's coming out will be checked. High level. First from the Most High. And who did the Most High use? Better recognize. Some people don't recognize him. Who the Most High used. Proverbs 17 and 14. From men which are thy hand, O Most High. See? From men which are thy hand, O Most High. From men of the world which have a portion in this life. See? He used men. That's why you better recognize this day and time, as I said, don't think that it can't go back to something that was of the past. He said, that of the past shall be that shall be. Romans 13 and 1. From men, which is the Most High's hand. He said, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. He told us this in Daniel, the 4th chapter, the 17th verse. Daniel 4:17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living, and we the living, may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. That's why he got Esau set up. Even in the Webster's, I got it right here. Webster's Unabridged Dictionary. He said he set up over the basis of men, right? This is the Webster's Encyclopedic Unabridged Dictionary of the English Language. You see here? See right there? That's where the source is coming from. You can look at it yourself. I'll hold it there so you can see it. This is what is written in the Webster's Encyclopedic Unabridged Dictionary of the English Language. Okay? Here we go. It says Caucasian. Remember, the Most High, I'm just giving you what the Most High said. He said, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and set up over it the basis of men. So it says Caucasian. It says Caucasoid, of or pertaining to the Caucasus mountain range, because they come from the Caucasus mountain between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea in South Georgia, Russia. It says a person having Caucasoid characteristics. A white person. They like to call themselves white. So it's a person having Caucasoid characteristics. A white person. So what does Caucasoid mean? a member of a subspecies of mankind. See? Including the light-skinned peoples of Europe, North Africa, East Asia, and Indian, and their descendants in other parts of the world, all belonging to this subspecies. Caucasian. That's what it says. I didn't write it. That's from the Webster's Encyclopedic Unabridged Dictionary of the English Language. So the Most High has set up over us the basis of men. You see? They call themselves a subspecies of mankind. So now when you read Romans 13:1, it says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. They the higher powers right now. For there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. Because he said he ruleth in the kingdom of men. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of the Most High. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works. That's why the ones that's doing the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, being in order with the teachers that's teaching you the right way, being in order with their faith in the Mashiach Yahushua. Say, for rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. That's why you got to be on point. How do you be evil? Because you at enmity with the Most High. You still of this world. You still following the way that you always follow. And you're not putting enough time into changing. You're not putting enough time to become that new creature. You ain't putting enough time to be born again. That's a different person. Following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, being justified your faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, going to the Most High on your behalf, and he ain't going if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. He's not doing that. He said ain't no sacrifice for sin if you sin willfully. And you supposed to know better. Every last one of you that's hearing my voice. Ain't nobody said it was brand new here. Ain't nobody just coming on the conference call. Ain't nobody here in the flesh, first time being here. We held accountable. Much is given, much is what? Required. Much is required from you. I think it's more than what you realize. A lot of people think, oh, they still got that kind of religious type of mindset. That you under mercy and grace, but you ain't got to follow the rules and regulations of the Most High. And there are rules and regulations all through the Bible. And then some outside of what we have here that coincide with the Bible of how we lived our life and our culture and so forth. Knowing these things, historians that wrote about the way we conducted ourselves, that coincides with the word of the Most High. That's why he said, for rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same, man. You do that what's good, and them powers, they're going to be like, hey, just like Joseph, he was raised up. He was following Most High. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they was raised up. Most High showed them favor. They was chastised. They was chastised, but the Most High sent a Mashiach Yahushua to redeem them. From the Daniel from the lion's den, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace, that the mighty men, or them damn Ethiopians, the Cushites, the Babylonians, the Chaldeans, burned up from making that fire so hot. You see, mighty men, he got his mighty men to do this. They was young. But what did he do? He looked in that furnace and he seen not 3, but 4. He said, oh, that's the Son of the Most High. He recognized him, Mashiach Yahushua. Here we are, don't even see him in the Bible, but we don't even see him. He's saying it's the Son of the Most High. Here we are. And he said, hey, anybody go against them? I'm going to make your house a dunghill. Straight up. He believed in the Most High, in the Mashiach Yahushua after that. See? But here we are. Daniel, when he was thrown in the lion's den, they accused him of something. Threw him in the lion's den. He was vexed. The king was vexed all night. Went there. Daniel was safe and sound. what did he do? He took those that accused him and threw them in the lions. Then they just crushed their bones, just tore them up. That's the power of the Most High that we serve. That's why he said, verse 4, for he is a minister of the Most High to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, you want to follow the way of the Most High, you want to still remain the same person you always been, you want to be in enmity with the Most High, you want to be at war with the Most High, you want to be the enemy of the Most High. He said, if you do that which is evil, be afraid. He said, be afraid. Fear. Oh no, that don't mean be afraid. He said, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of the Most High, a revenger, to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Better believe this. Better hear what he's saying. But see, that's why people still caught up in their own mindset, but not realizing. Go back to Psalm 17 and 13. Better hear this. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Most High. Like we say, Kram Abanawa Yahweh. Kram, Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He got to rise. Mashiach Abishai got to rise. So he sit on the right hand side of the Most High. That's why the Spirit had me to say, Kram Abanawa Yahweh. Kram Abanawa, Most High power, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Kram Mashiach Yahushua. Then Kram Yahshua Allah. How Israel going to rise? The Most High ain't rising up. And the Mashiach Yahushua ain't rising up. How are we going to rise up before them? Won't work, right? It won't work at all. But that's what I'm saying, you know, certain things you look at, it's like, whoa, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's what he say, arise, O Most High. Disappoint him. Cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Say, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So who the wicked? So the wicked is the sword of the Most High right now. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the wicked man, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So who is this? You say the wicked man going to cover the faces of the judges thereof. So somebody covered the faces of the judges. See? There it is right there. See that? Job 9:24. Caesar Borgia. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? That's one judge. So Mashiach Yahushua covered his face up. Here go another picture. See? Right there. Last Supper. Who you see? All Edomites. All Edomites. Right? Listen. It says, Job 9:24. See, the wicked is the sword of the Most High. It says, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, if the so-called white man is not the way, where and who is he? Mashiach Yahushua said this. I mean, it's clear. John 5:22. John 5:22. The wicked man covered the faces of the judges thereof. I just showed you the wicked man. Let's see. John 5:22. For the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son. See? So in Mashiach Abishai, he said he gave him all the judgment. The Most High don't judge no man, but he's given Mashiach Abishai the right to judge. And what is he going to judge? How is he going to judge when he comes back here? Not as a man, but in his angelic power. Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven open. Revelation 19:11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse. This is pure righteous power. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness he does judge and make war. That's what he's coming back to do, to judge and make war. So now, that's what Mashiach Yahushua. They covered the face of, the wicked man covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? He said. If it's not them, who is it? Who is it? If it's not them. He makes it clear. But see, Israel want to try and go about it some other way. Nah, you can't change this. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? He said. Where is it? If it ain't them, where is it? Look at Luke 22 and 30. That ye may eat and drink at my table, Mashiach Yahushua, in my kingdom, and sit on thrones. That's powers and authority, people, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Let you know that we're going to be there as the Israelites. And the apostles going to be sitting on 12 thrones. They're going to sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And see, that's judging. That's the judges. And what have they done? They have set themselves up as the wicked. So the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? Come on. Come on. Do I need to pull out Bibles to show you and the pictures in the Bibles that's of the so-called white man? And white people representing all the people of the Most High? He the wicked. But he's in his right order. That's why the Most High said, hey, that's his sword. The wicked is his sword. So it all correlates with Esau's blessing, who is a biblical name for the forefather of the Edomites. Look. Go to Genesis, the 27th chapter, and verse 38. Remember, Esau sold his birthright for some raw red meat. It says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Talking to Isaac. Bless me, even me also, O my father, crying to him. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Start crying. Listen at his blessing. All you have ears to hear and eyes to see. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling is the blessing. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. That's why they everywhere. That's what you're talking about. You going to run somewhere? Where you going to run? You what he said? This is blessing. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword and by your sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, and ye have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. See? They served us. You know, we ran them in the Caucasus Mountains. They came out in 1453 and started to take down the known Israelites that were ruling during the Byzantine Empire, the Dark Ages, the medieval times, as he called it. The Byzantine Empire, the backwards empire. We went backwards. This is what he said. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, and he have dominion, 1492, what do they call it? The Renaissance period until now. That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Listen, and Esau hated Jacob. Esau hated us, the 12 tribes of Israel, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, he said in his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay, then will I murder my brother Jacob. Straight up. So don't get it twisted. Better know who is who and what you up against. Ezekiel 35 and 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, it's to Esau, and have shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. See? The force of the sword. You keep hearing that word sword. Sword. He living by the sword. In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. See? The time our iniquity have an end, they're going to shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Therefore, as I live, said the Most High Power, check this out, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. See? That's the judgment. No, yeah, don't think you're getting away with it. You're not getting away with nothing. Most High got an answer for all things right here in this word. Ezekiel 35. No, it's a lot. 25. And 14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. See, they know this. The elite know this. That's why they want to eliminate the minorities, as they call it. But we're not a minority. We're the majority. We're not a minority. We're the majority. You mean to tell me we don't outnumber, as the Israelites, everyone? Most I said we're more numerous than the stars in the sky and the sand of the sea. And when he put the Spirit on us to know, to come back from the gross darkness that our people are in, when he gathered the more the 1/3 together, because we growing, ain't nothing more powerful than this. That's why they got us numbered. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Most High. That's prophecy to happen. So that's why it's his time to rule, and you can't go against what it is that the Most High already told you. It's his sword. The wicked is his sword. He's using them. Come on. Everybody better realize, you better realize what time it is. Unless you don't know the Most High. A lot of you don't. You don't know the Most High. Because you know that this is the Most High doing. This is what he said. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. Deuteronomy 32 and 39, it says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no idol or no power with me. I kill. See what he said? I kill. And I make alive. Say, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See? See, for I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. Forever. And ever and ever and ever. If I wet my glittering sword, here goes sword again. If I wet my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies. See? He said he's going to render vengeance to his enemies and reward them that hate me. See, I will make mine arrows drunk with blood, and my sword shall devour flesh, and that with the blood of the slain of the captives, from the beginning revengers upon the enemy. See? He said, rejoice, O you nations, with his people, for he will revenge the blood of his servants. He's going to revenge our blood. All the blood that's been shed of the children of Israel, Most High said he's going to revenge our blood and will render vengeance to his adversaries. He's going to render vengeance to his enemies and will be merciful unto his land and to his people, the 12 tribes of Israel. He's going to purify his land with fire, and he's going to be merciful, not getting what we deserve. That's mercy to his people. It didn't say to nobody else, because everybody else is not his people. Everybody's not his people. The children of Israel, we are his people. Romans 2 and 5. But after thy hardness and impenitent heart mind treasured up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and revelation, the revealing of the righteous judgment of the Most High, who will render to every man according to his deeds. See, everybody going to be dealt with according to your deeds. That's why you got to humble yourself and not harden yourself where you can't be dealt with. Don't wait till it's too late. Look what he says in 2 Peter 3 and 9. The Most High is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to usward, to us. Who's he talking to? First Peter 1 and 1. Peter, an apostle of Mashiach Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Elect. These are the brothers and sisters that are strangers that he didn't know. That's a stranger. Someone that you don't know. But they are the elect according to the foreknowledge of the Most High, the Father, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience of the laws of the Most High, and sprinkling of the blood of the Mashiach Yahushua, his precious blood being shed for us, that the Most High could face us again, and we can have repentance, grace unto you, and peace be multiplied. See? What did he say? Blessed be the power and Father of our power, Mashiach Yahushua. See? Who is that? Who did Mashiach Yahushua say he was? Matthew 22:32. Matthew 22:32. I am the power. This is Mashiach Yahushua saying who the Most High is. I am the power. This is what the Most High said. I am the power of Abraham and the power of Isaac and the power of Jacob. Most High is not the power of the dead, but of the living. So he's the power of our power, and the Mashiach Yahushua power of Abraham, power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. That's who he is. So that's who this book is talking to. It says elect in verse 2 in 1 Peter's, the second verse in the first chapter. Elect. Who the elect? So this is how you prove without a shadow of a doubt who the Bible's talking to, and cancel out a lot of foolishness. One of the scriptures is Isaiah 45:4. For Jacob, my servant's sake, and Israel, mine elect. So it's talking to the 12 tribes of Israel. Point blank. So now, let's go back to 2 Peter 3:9. So now that we know that, well, if you need more proof, we can go to Acts, the second chapter, just in case, it says strangers in those different places. Acts, the second chapter, in the 5th verse. This is when the Holy Spirit came. And they were endowed with the Holy Spirit, and they prophesied by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. From that point on, the miracles started happening. But this is what happened before that. It says, and there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, not of any other nation, but Jews, Israelites, devout men out of every nation under heaven. Now, where did these men come from? Verse 9, Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers of Mesopotamia and Judea and Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia, in Egypt and in parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongues or our languages the wonderful works of the Most High. That was a miracle. But you see, there were strangers that came, but they were Jews, Israelites, because it was on the first verse it says, and when the day of Pentecost was fully come. It was a holy convocation that we had, not the other nations, not no other nations. So these strangers that Peter is talking to are the Israelites. 2 Peter 3:9. The Most High is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. See? We got to come to repentance, ask for forgiveness. Truthfully. But the day of the Most High, Mashiach will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, the atoms, the neutrons, the protons, the electrons shall melt with fervent heat. He made them. You think he can't destroy them? He can't dissolve them? He says, the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Saying then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person ought you to be in all holy conversation and righteousness, looking for and hastening to the coming of the day of a Mashiach Yahushua, to the power of the Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. Hallelujah. That's what we're looking for. That's what you got to be working toward. That your name can be written in the book of life. And that you can see this day with gladness, and joy, and the peace that he's going to bring to us if we endure until the end. He told us that in Matthew 24th chapter. Verse 12, he says, and because iniquity shall abound, because wickedness shall be so plentifully in this earth, the love of many shall wax cold. That's why you got to love the Most High with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. See? You got to endure until the end to be saved from your enemies and from the hand of all that hate you. Matthew 24:36. But of that day we just read about, where the elements going to melt with fervent heat, that day, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Read it again. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Remember, Noah was screaming, it's going to rain, it's going to rain. People say, shut up, you drunk. You don't know what you're talking about. Get out of here. Get out of here with that. Nobody want to hear you what you're talking about. You kept saying, it's going to rain, it's going to rain. And when it rained, Noah had his son, Shem, his son Ham, his son Japheth, and their wives, along with Noah's wife, 8 people in that ark when that door closed. And we all come from either Shem, Ham, or Japheth. And look at all the many people that's been on this earth since the flood. So when you see the Most High say this in Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, and 14, when he says this, turn, O backsliding children, said the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua. Got to turn. Why would he say turn? Because you got to turn around. You got to change. You got to become a new creature. You got to be born again. You got to become that new man. Let the old things pass away and become new. Well, somebody can say, oh, you're not the same as you were. You got to get better, not worse. This shouldn't make you worse. It should make you better. And you got to be better in the eyes of the Most High. Let go of your pride, people. Humble yourself before the Most High, before he make you sick. It tells you that. It tells you that. In these scriptures. It says, look at Ecclesiastes 30 and 21. Give not over thy mind a heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. And that's what a lot of people do. They're given to their mind to heaviness. And those that are spiritual can see it. And afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. the way you think. Remember, many are deceived by their own vain opinion and the evil suspicion overthrown their judgment. They think they're on point, but they don't realize that evil has came in and overthrown their judgment. Therefore, they're giving their mind a heaviness and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel. So the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. So I know for a fact from what he says, the joyful of a man prolongeth his days. It tells you in Ecclesiastes 26:1. Ecclesiastes 26:1. Blessed is the man that hath a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoices her husband, and he shall fulfill the years of his life in peace. See? So it says, verse 22 of Ecclesiastes 30th chapter, after he just said that, he said, the gladness of the heart is the life of man, and the joyfulness of a man prolongeth his days. So a man have a virtuous woman, she going to help his life be double, because she going to bring him joy. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee. For sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. Ain't no profit in being all sad and sorrowful and feeling sorry for yourself. Get over yourself. Envy and wrath shorten the life, and carefulness brings age before the time. Being so technical will bring age before the time. Look around, many become sick. They become sick. Why? Because they do not know how to apply these scriptures in their life. Look at Ecclesiastes 14:2. Say, blessed is he whose conscience, whose mind has not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Most High, his faith in the Most High. Because your mind can cause yourself to condemn yourself. And you fall from your faith in the Most High. Because, I mean, come on. How is that? That's why I love these scriptures, because you got to apply this in your life. That's why he said in Ecclesiastes 2:1. Say, my son, Ecclesiastes 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy spirit for temptation. So knowing that you come to serve the Most High, you got to prepare for the wickedness and the evil of this world. It says, set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste. Don't run in time of trouble. Some people want to run little or nothing. I'm out of here. And what are they doing better than what they were doing during the time that it was around the congregation? If you ain't in this word, you ain't taking the time to be in this word, studying the word of the Most High so he know you, then how you think you want to make it to the kingdom? And your life is better when you only have so much time you give him. So why should he give you the time that you desire for him when you only give him so much time? Time of trouble they run. You say, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. See? When you cleave to him, you're going to be increased at that last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. So if you do this, then how are you going to be all sad? All down on yourself. He said, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient. That deal with time. When thou art changed to a lower state. You got to be patient. He said use men. That's his hand. In this world, to bring forth the correction. He say you have teachers that ain't going to be in the corner no more. You're going to see your teachers. You're going to hear your teachers. They're going to be there for you to see. To lead you in the right way. And none of them wrong because they got to give an account too. Romans 2:7.